What's going on, Tamers? It's your boy Varney, and today we're back with another meta snapshot for y'all. This time going over the Toulouse offline regionals that were held over in France, which is in Europe. If you don't know your geography for some reason, you should know your geography. Granted, I don't know all of mine. But before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Yuxo for letting both Risu and I know that the top 8 was actually a top cut. So there was a top 8 top cut, however, whatever the wording for that is. So with that in mind, let's hop over to Eggman events. So you can see here, we've got all the information we need. If y'all want to check it out, you can head over to eggmanevents.com because it is the source that you can grab all of your information of, no matter what the deck list is. Risu is pretty good with getting this stuff up here as soon as he can. So big shout out to Risu for putting the information up here. We see it was 87 players at this event. Like I said, offline regional, so it wasn't in person. That is nice. I know EU does not get invites for their regionals. Their regionals are basically open invitation. I don't know if that, I don't think that changed this year. I think that's just an NA thing that we need invites, probably due to the amount of players that we have over here, especially considering that there was only 87 players who went and participated over here. With that in mind, we're going to first take a look at the Davos list that won. That would be this 5th place Davos list right here. That is the actual winner of Top Cut. So taking a quick look at the Davos list, I'm going to try to run through these because it's late. I'm tired. And we have seen we have seen a lot of these lists. By this point in the format, we've seen a lot of the text and everything. So it's not to, you know, discredit anybody, to just run through the list because it's like more of what we've seen. But I really can't talk too much more about things that are just, you know, kind of the same. So just a quick look here. This list is one of Digimon Emperor, always good against your Ukomon meta. Analog Youth down to 3 is interesting. I don't know, it's Davos. I just feel like you don't want this down to 3. A big shout out to the player that I played in my final round at the Ultimate Cup. He was really good with his use of Analog Youths. Every time he would Fanglong and I'd be like, all right, cool, he has nothing in trash for Fanglong, he'd have the Analog Youth to drop to fill with source for Fanglong. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that to be coming. So I definitely don't like anything less than 4 Analog Youth, to tell you all the truth, because it's the only thing you have to search in this deck. Like if you're not using draw power, you need the search. Digimon Emperor is a cute little thing to, like, when you pop Digimon or when you delete them in battle, you can tap this and gain a memory. But I mean, you typically would run 2 Geni anyways. We see this 5th place list is running the 1 Mega Gargoyles and a 1 Merciful mode, which I don't hate it, but I just feel like, you know, maybe drop a Holy Cardinal, especially because you've got those, and run the 4th Analog Youth. But I'm not the one who won Top Cut. So congratulations to this 1st place Top Cut list, 5th place in Swiss. We're going to take a look at the 9th place David list, just real quick to get Davis out of the way. This one's very spicy. Here's a spicy list. We could talk about this for a little bit. So we've got the TK here, TK Memory Setter. This is going to look at your security. It's going to grab any color card, but if it is a yellow card, you will recover 1. So what's the yellow cards here? You grab Baihu, you grab Ruin Mode, Fanglong. Ooh, yeah, grabbing Fanglong's pretty good. Reinforcing if you want, and Leomon and a Zulong Ace, and then obviously Chaos Deck, which you probably never taken that out of security. So that's really, really interesting. I wonder how much Chaos Deck came up from. I mean, obviously he runs the 3 Mimis here. This can be combo really nice because it can make your, well, first of all, it makes your Holy Beast Great Cardinal position cheaper than the 12 cost always. But then it can also make your loyalty either free or a plus, which is really cool. So actually, it's a really cute tech. They're still running the Mother Eggs. Obviously, we got the Antilemons here. 3 Chaos Deck. Yeah, I mean, if you drop your TK and then you have like a Fanglong, you drop like an Abanwu Ace or a Zuchao. Yeah, Chaos Deck does work, but I feel like for most things, you can just get rid of it with Fanglong. So I'm actually interested to know, like, what did you need to take care of with Chaos Deck that you went out of your way to run the purple Mimis and the Abanwu? Well, not that you're running this extra, but just that you're running like extra stuff to run Chaos Deck instead of just running Heaven's Judgment. That'd be very interesting to know. And also the one of Shadow Serafi, because that card's an absolute menace. Depending on what deck you put this out against. Fenry, they gotta basically waste a Helugar on it, so you kind of stun them a turn. Red Hybrid. So it's a really good, I mean, I like the list. I like the list. I'm just very curious to know What did you need a chaos deck for that everything else couldn't take care of for you? But congratulations on 9th place. Let's pop and take a quick look at the Stavos list that I missed. 3 analog youth. Oh my goodness. I mean, if it works, it works. But oh gosh, I just couldn't imagine. Like, it's like Fenry, right? For the longest time, Dan was like, you need to play more analog youth. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm just like getting to the point with Fenry where I'm like, all right, fine, I'm running the 3rd one. And I'm just gonna get to the point where I'm like, all right, fine, I'll run 4 analog youth. So sometimes the card is just so good and it's like, why not run it at more? And like I said, like the combo of Fang Long into drop analog youth is really good. But this is Stavos. I can't comment on this any more than I already have. So also congratulations to 14th place here. Now we're going to take a look at the runner-up 2nd place Secon list. This was both for Swiss 2nd place and Top Cut 2nd place. So let's count the Digimon, right? 4, 8, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 19. So 19 Digimon, standard Secon nowadays, am I right? Secon lists have really thinned down, and this is one of those annoying lists. You got 4 Chaos Deck, you got the 3 Wyvern's Breath, you've got the 2 Revelational Light, which is such a menace nowadays, 3 Lonky out of Stocko, 2 Holy Wave, the 4 Health Sites, always going to recur your Magna Angimons, but can also recur your Harrismons, which you can then tack retreat. I've always liked Harrismon. Harrismon was a mainstay in BT10 yellow vaccine list for JP, and I'm sad that we never got to play it over here because I was definitely going to be running Harrismon, tack retreat, Venusmon, Sunrise Buster, Sukuyamon main mode, but that's a topic for another day. As far as tamer lineup with 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 total tamers. 2 Emperor is great, right? 2 Emperor is great because especially for Secon, if you drop 2 Emperors against like a Ukomon, they're not they do get to gain the memories. Like if they have a memory setter, you have 2 Emperor, they'll push out, they'll lose 4, well, they'll first gain 1 because Ukomon's effect triggers first before the Digimon Emperor, but then they'll also lose 4, so effectively they'll just neg on it. But that is definitely something to keep in mind, that Digimon Emperor can really scoop a lot of Ukomon plays, but also just like Vaccine, they're like, well, I can't necessarily just raise this Patamon, I'm gonna have to friggin', you know, do some shenanigans. And we see a bunch of Kari name tamers, obviously the 4 purple Kari because of Revelation, but we've also got the 2 TK Kari because TK Kari is just so good. You're at less security than your opponent, you just gain 2 memory. So it's a really good way to stave off aggression because your opponent may not want to give up that extra memory, in which you can then use to play your option cards for cheaper. 1 Mirage is, I'm not going to say it's interesting, like we've definitely seen it before because it's just an automatic purple yellow source for your Chaos Deck for your Flame Health Sites. So it's really strong there for sure. My big question is, I mean, it's Secon, right? You don't care about dropping it for 5. I'm just curious, like if that was more worth it than just, you know, running like another purple tamer of some sorts. But as far as like the Digimon lineup goes, it's a lot of what we've seen. No Venusmon in this list. It's just 3 black Serafi, a Zulong Ace to punish those early tempo swings like level 5 and below. Gallantmon because you do run out of deck a lot, and then Quantumon because why wouldn't you play Quantumon? So super solid, super annoying Secon list. Congratulations there. We're gonna take a look at the 13th place Secon list, which is this is the same exact list. I kid you not. This is no different. This is the same exact list. Did y'all get together and like brainstorm and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna play the same list because why not? Like, what are the odds that the same list, one's in 2nd place, one's in 13th place? Like, what are the odds that 2 different players built 2 separate deck ideas for the same deck and then just came with the same build? I feel like they got together on this. I just talked about it. I can't say anything more about that except a congratulations for 13th place. Now we're gonna move on to the 3rd place in Top Cut Mirage list. This was the 1st place. Let me hold on. No. Here we go. This is the 3rd place Mirage list that was 3rd in Top Cut, 3rd in Swiss. So we've got Betamons for jamming. That's standard nowadays because blue decks can't live without their jamming. Your 1 Bukumon, 1 Wanya, and 2 Demi V is interesting. It's It's actually very interesting. It's very interesting to see that. No removal in this list, just one ice wall. So this list is basically going for straight tempo and OTK because you got 4 Zoodle Ace. So always threatening, hey, I'll just drop Zoodle for 4, bounce that back to hand, because it can be a really big menace. You don't have any other source stripping in the deck, so Zoodle Ace is the only thing that's going to be doing the source stripping. But just the fact that you can drop Zoodle Ace in the next turn, threaten Mirage Galgamon is absolutely a menace to society. Because I know dealing with this card, like Uncle Sam coming to collect his tax is like, ugh. The only Galgamon you're running here, of course, is the both players draw top card of their deck on play, because the other one, for some reason, trashes those cards. I mean, not that it necessarily matters in some cases, but against Secon, it can matter. And that's a really big reason we probably see Secon list top a lot in EU because of Mirage. Mirage had like 7 tops or something. Can't remember the exact number, but the rest of the list pretty much just looks standard. So congratulations on this 3rd place finish. And now this was the 1st place finish in Swiss, but top 8 for the rest of the day. And this list also looks like much of the same. What's different here? We've got Gomez in this list instead. All right, cool. All right, it's not the same list. I take that back. Definitely some differences here. We've got Galmon Searcher. So this is the same one I was talking about that for some reason reveals top 3, adds a Galgamon and a blue tamer, and then trashes the rest. It's so weird. You've got 3 of the Gomamons. These are the floating Gomamons that are such a pain in the ass to deal with, because you're like, all right, cool, I'll just delete the Mirage. And then it's like, oh, well, Goma floats out, so I can threaten another Mirage next turn real easy. It's like, no, why you do this? Oh, also the other champion I forgot to mention for the last list was Leomon. So definitely still running, you know, just same bounce, play, hybrid. Because it's just a good lineup. It's just a good lineup there. Only 3 Zoodle Ace on this one. So basically 7 total champions and just the 1 Mirage from BT13 instead of the 2. So that we could fit in some Full Moon Meteor Impact, some Blue Memory Boost, and some Mental Training. Because actually, oh, this list did play them both. I take that back. The 3rd place list played 4 and 3. This list is playing 3 and 3. So basically just making room for the Full Moon Meteor Impact, and I think a little bit more rookies here. But this is the infamous 3 egg list. 1 Buka, 2 Wanya. It's oh yeah, I mean, it makes sense. This list isn't running any of the Betamon for jamming, just Madoki Betamon for the memory gaining effect, or stop your opponent from gaining memory effects. So it's just funny, but very interesting. Congratulations on 1st place there. All right, this 8th place list I believe is the 4th list from Top Cut. So I mean, it's red hybrid. I just want to poke through. I'm going to poke through all the red hybrid lists because I don't think any of them are really going to look that much different. The biggest differences is Louis, one of Emperor Grey from BT7. So these 2 lists are basically the same. This list cuts down on a couple cards. The 11th place list cuts down on a couple cards. Basically the Flamemons here. I've heard people start running the piercing Flamemons because they can't check past blockers, because blockers are being a little pain in their ass. So they started running the piercing Flamemon so that they can pierce through those blockers, which is strong for sure. I mean, if you have the flexibility of doing whatever you want, considering that, you know, this card does bottom deck all of this. So why not just, you know, max out on this? You could even cut this, just play more piercing ones. This is the most important one, to be honest, your BT7, since the on deletion plays the Takuya from your hand. So between this and this Flamemon, like, that's really all you need. Everything else was a flex spot, really. This list is running 2 Garuda Ace, which is interesting. I mean, hey, might as well try to get your tamers out, but only 7 tamers? That's bonkers. You brave. You brave. I would not run 7 tamers in red hybrid. That is absolutely positively brave. I would have cut literally anything else to play. I'd play 8 tamers all day, no shot. That's super interesting. And also the 1 Trident guy here. If you do pop a Digimon with the highest DP, if that was 13k or more, then you trash top card of security. So it can be really nice, especially for 8 cost removal in this deck. This pops like Shadow Seraphi, obviously. I would rather the removal card from, what's it called, Phoenixmon, because it's lower cost and it can be very versatile. But I mean, this isn't a bad option either. Congratulations on 8th place here. Again, I wouldn't run 8. I wouldn't run 7 tamers. I mean, this runs 10 tamers because we're running 2 Louis. Louis is really good because you can Louis. Basically, it's Louis for game, Mimi for game type thing. So it combos really nicely with Ukomon, obviously. But also the 1 of Emperor Grey here. This Emperor Grey is really strong because it's like Blitz Omni at home, essentially. You can do the whole Warp Takuya shenanigans that you can go into Emperor Grain because it has Blitz. You can just swing, then your opponent's like, well, I have to block this. And then you're like, all right, cool. I'll just gain 5 memory and I'll unsuspend, because when this Digimon is blocked, you unsuspend it and gain 1 memory for each Digivolution card it has with the hybrid trait. So since you're doing Warp Takuya, you're taking 5 under, you're always going to gain 5 memory, which is paying for its cost and then plussing 1, which is bonkers. So just, I do like it as a one-of. I like that as a tech card. Congratulations on 10th place there. And then our 11th place list is much like the 8th place list, but they run 8 Tamers. They also run 3 Atomic Inferno, like I say, and 2 Gravity Crush, and then 3 Crimson Blaze. So just a very, if Secon's annoying, this red hybrid list can also be very annoying depending on the deck that you're playing. But congratulations on 11th place there. Let's move on to Leviamon, which was the 4th place in Swiss, so the top 8 top cut list. We've got 4 Wisdom, 3 Memboost. So basically inheriting from its purple brethren in Anubismon is saying, yeah, no Tamers, we just want full consistency. This Levi list is opting for the Ruin mode. I mean, not that they're opting for Ruin mode. Ruin mode is just really good. 7th Lightning is also good to stop you from decking out. So when you Digivolve into Levi X, you bottom deck 7th Lightning, and then you could pop level 4 and 6. So with Levi X, you're doing Pop a Tamer 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're just doing complete board wipes with this deck. This is the straight X antibody deck. No protoform, so really just gunning for the win. We see the 2 Rush Leomon because you can never discount Rush Leomon for game. The 1 of Restricted Gobble X, considering it could search out your Levia, your Serb. No, what is it called? Guru. There's the Gurumon X, but they don't run the Dober X's here. This is Leviamon. I can't really, there's nothing spicy about it. This is about where we've seen the list at for the season. So I just want to say, congratulations over here to 4th place for that. Moving on, now here's spicy. Here's a list. We've got Rosemon Tribal, 6th place. So top 8 in top cut, Rosemon Tribal. Now this is a list I know Dan is like very heavy on. My biggest gripe with this list, let me tell you what my gripe with Rosemon is. You see this Rosemon X? Really cool card. This card literally reads, I'm gonna lock your deck down. When Digivolving, suspend an opponent's Digimon to one of their Tamers. They cannot suspend until the end of their turn. Opponent's turn. When your opponent plays a Digimon, you may suspend one of their Digimon. And then also, when an opponent's Digimon moves from breeding to battle, if you have Rosemon or X Antibody in source, you may suspend one of their Digimon. This reads that, oh yeah, cool, I get to lock down my opponent's deck, right? Problem with this, you can't go into Rosemon burst mode by burst evolution because she specifies a Rosemon, unfortunately. And the reason I say that's a bad thing, it's not like it's an uber bad thing. Maybe this deck would be, so to say, overtuned if you could Digivolve Rosemon burst mode over Rose X. Lore-wise, it makes sense. But my biggest issue is I like when decks have flexibility and interoperability between being able to be like, all right, cool, I'll go Rosemon into Rosemon X, and then I'll burst Evo into burst mode. And then I can do my shenanigans. I find that really cool. I wish it was able to do that, but I understand why for lore, it does not do that. So with that in mind, you have to hard Digivolve for 5 into Rosemon burst mode. What could really work though, because this deck has a lot of cost reduction, Yoshino is when you Digivolve into a Vegetation Plant or Fairy, you suspend her gain of memory. Mimi is when an effect suspends a Digimon, you suspend her gain of memory. So comboed with Palmon's cost reduction, when you have a green, when this Digimon will Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduced cost, as well as this Sunflowmon that has the same inheritable, but also has a main effect to reduce the next cost of your Fairy Digievolution. So you could play this out or bring it up from raising or whatever, suspend it. You can go into your Rosemon burst mode for 3, but maybe 2, but maybe 1. Like there are ways to reduce the cost, which is the one good thing about it. Generally, you don't want to sacrifice like having a Rosemon X though, because you only have 2 Rosemon X. And burst mode is really good for doing burst shenanigans on Rosemon and Rosemon, Both of these Rosemons are really good. I find that BT14 is the better of the 2, to be honest, because it's both a when Digivolving and a when attacking that you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. And that's not a once per turn. So if you Digivolve, you can suspend, and then when attacking, you can suspend another. But it does have a once per turn. When an effect suspends a Digimon or Tamer, you can unsuspend this Digimon. It's interesting that this list opts to run 3 of the BT13 instead of 3 of the BT14. The BT13 is by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, you unsuspend this Digimon. And then when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. And the only difference is that's in all turns, whereas Rosemon is only doing it sorry, BT14 is only doing it on attack. BT13 can do it all turns. So I guess I can kind of see that. They're both really good. Neither one is like objectively better than the other type thing. They're both really good. Just thinking about like what this deck is capable of doing, like it really can lock down decks, especially if you do a burst mode play, because it's like a mini, it's basically courts for a turn. You can't get past the courts for a turn, right? Like you just can't unsuspend. It's just straight up what it is. But then you also get to, when attacking, you trash top 2 cards of your opponent's security stack for every 2 of your opponent's suspended Digimon or Tamers. So if you're playing the long game with this deck, like burst mode goes hard. And oh my good lord, I didn't even see the Dimension Scissors. That's dirty. That is absolutely dirty. There's no piercing in this deck, but being able to gain the Sec +1, suspend everything down, bottom deck off Lily Ace, get DP from Lily X, and then just Dimension Scissors and delete board. That's just, you know what the big combo with this is? I know why this is in here. The combo with Dimension Scissors is burst mode, because burst mode is not a once per turn for the when attacking. So if your opponent has like 2 suspended Digimon, it works out because you can swing. Let's say they have like 5 total things. You trash 2 security. Dimension Scissors will let you unsuspend, and then you can go and swing into the other Digimon, and then you can trash 2 more security, and then you can just kind of like go for game. That's a very spicy combo, and I like that a lot. Congratulations on the 6th place list. I am very glad to see Rosemon get a top. I tried messing around with the deck, and I just very quickly realized that green, not for me. But congratulations. Moving on, we've got our 7th place, or our top 8 finish for Omni Control. This is Dark Masters Omni Zoo. Why is this called Dark Masters Omni Zoo? Because we use the Dark Masters engine. We use the Cherrymon. We use there's no Scorpiomon in this list. So this is opting just for Cherrymon and Lady Devimon due to the blast potential on all of these Ace Digimon. Both Cherrymon and Lady Devi read the same. It's just that Cherrymon has Piercing as an inheritable. Lady Devi has Retail as an inheritable. How did I miss the Gigadramon? I'm like blind. I missed the Gigadramon as well. Gigadramon gives Reboot as an inheritable. They both reveal, or all 3 of them I should say, reveal top 4. Add 2 or higher. Add 2 level 6 or higher cards among them to your hand. Bottom deck the rest. And at the end of turn, you can pop one of your Digimon to play Dark Masters from your hand to an empty space in your breeding area. So that is your Metal Seedramon, Machine Dramon, Piedmon, and where's the Puppetmon? No Puppetmon? No Puppetmon. How you gonna do this to me? How you gonna? I can't call this Dark Masters Omni Zoo anymore. There's not even the one of APOC. I can't call this Dark Masters Omni Zoo anymore. This is Omni Control. These are really good. You run 12 total of these. These are your draw and search power. These are going to pull you into your Dark Masters, but also your Omnis, because these, all of the Dark Masters, they can only Digivolve into a white Digimon. So what that means, you can only Digivolve into Zwart Defeat, and Merciful Mode. You can't Digivolve into Alter B. Alter B comes in as a game finisher on top of the Zwart Defeat, or on top of a Zwart that turns into the Alter B or something along those lines. But this list is a fucking menace. It runs 4 Mega Gargo Ace. Good lord, I'd always make sure I want to get rid of these. 4X program is insane. I mean, it works, right? Because of the tie and mats, you have a white tamer source, but then also the Omnis, you don't necessarily care if they die, especially if it's like Zwart Defeat, or if Zwart already got his purpose. You can just say, all right, cool, X program, wipe a board. It requires 3 or more Digimon in play. You can pop everything without the X antibody trait, but if there's not, then you just pop 1. It's basically, if you guys have ever seen the movie, the like PS2 graphics movie, it is that. It's purging. This is Yggdrasil, just like purging the digital world. Interesting, only 3 mothers, considering that, you know, these, I don't even know what these are called. The Dark Master underlings, I guess. They combo so well with Mother because Mother's unaffected by your opponent's effects, but not by your effects. So you can use this, pop that Mother D, and then play any one of these to your breeding area. But I guess because there's no Puppetmon, I guess you're not too worried about that. So congratulations on 7th place there. Next up, we've got Lugamon in 12th place. What is up with this Lugamon list? ADP is you never swing into an unprotected stack. I can tell you that. Here's the 4 analog youth I was just talking about, with the 4 AG, 4 Wisdom, and 2 Mem Boost. I mean, yeah, this is just Fenry doing Fenry shenanigans. This deck changes going into both BT16 and 17. But for now, this is what the deck looks like. We see, harkening back to the olden days, this list is running the Vascomon Dark Animal blockers, because Fenry and Soul only play SOC or Dark Animal. Sorry, yeah, SOC or Dark Animal Digimon. So Phascomon's a dark animal. You can play it. It has blocker. And that can be really good. That combo with Tyrannomon, that's really good. Really like that there. Interesting split of the 3/3 on the Lugarmons. I wonder which one they prefer. I like them both. I always love this Lugarmon if I'm pulling off a Hellugar play. But obviously, you know, most times you want this Lugarmon because it's just your play extender for getting to swing. You draw a card, gain a memory, Digivolve into Soul, play stuff out, gain memory from that Inheritable and Luga, and then you get to go into Fenry because you just, you know, played out this, where is it? Fangmon from trash, and you trashed it, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. It's a whole combo deck. Fenry is such a... if you guys have played, if you guys played against Fenry, or you play Fenry, you know what I'm talking about. Only one Black Auto. Interesting. 2 Black Auto Uber. I like the inclusion. I was also doing this at one point because I was afraid of both the Levia and the Secon matchup. And then I realized, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to let my deck be its ignorant self. I'll run 1 just because I rather run 2 of the Rush Black Automon. But congratulations on your finish here. 15th place, we've got Leomon. Yes, that's right. Leomon Tribal. Ooh, baby, we run in 2 of the Tigers from BT11. All right, that's cool. So this Tiger is really nice because it gives a 1000 DP buff on your turn to all of your Digimon. Just a straight up 1000 DP buff. So it's just really good. It's just a really good passive effect. But also, when one of your green Digimon would Digivolve into a level 5 or higher card, you suspend it to gain a memory or reduce Digi-Evolution cost by 1. Big difference in semantics there. So what that works really nicely with, obviously, is your heavy Leomons. Your heavy Leomons cost 40 Digivolve on a Leomon in name. So Grap and Loader, excuse me. So Grap and Loader, it costs 4 to go on. But with Taiga, you could go into it for 3 or even 2. The same thing with Grap and Loader. I mean, granted, they do Digivolve for 3 from their respective Leomons. But being able to do those cheaper or just freaking getting to a heavy Leomon for 3 is just so freaking good. So good. And obviously, you know, 2 Bancho Leomon. This is your boss. This is the boss. He would reduce cost for himself to play when there are 6 or fewer cards in both players' security stacks. He plays down for a cost of 7. On play and when Digivolving, you get to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. And then when a Digimon becomes suspended, you can neg 4 and give sec -1 to that Digimon. That's really good, especially when combo with Flashy Boss Punch, because this is going to do a neg 16. And then it allows them to attack any Leomon or Banchomon in its name. Just really good. 1 Heaven's Judgment, 2 Vinyl Zubagon Punch, bro. Let me tell you, this card goes so hard with Heavy Leomon. Because Heavy Leomon is natively 13k, so with FZP, it's going to gain that 3k DP. Be at 16k, it's going to gain Blocker, Reboot, and Sec +1. But because of the built-in unsuspend, if you don't give it something to bottom deck for the unsuspend effect, then this Heavy Leo will swing for freaking 16k on 4 checks. Oh, Fortitude is not an issue. Oh, I die because we have Fortitude. Like, it's just... Very interested to try this list. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to try it because I've been thinking of wanting to play Leomon, and I really like Heavy Leomon and Bancho Leomon, and I really want to do something with Flashy Boss Punch. So I'm excited. I'm very happy to see this top, and congratulations on 15th. Last up, we've got Bloom Lord, Bloom Quantum, 4 Bloom, 1 Hydra, 2 Quantum, because Quanta shenanigans, you know what I mean? This list is Agitar, Cherry, Lily Ace. You see a green list playing more Lily Ace, which is interesting. This is like, it's not worse than it's not worse than Metal Gray, because Metal Gray is definitely really bad. But this card is like also mid. Yeah, it suspends an opponent's Digimon, which I guess that's nice. But then it only bottom decks a 5k or less. I know that can come up, but compared to like what Zudo Ace, what Magna Ace, and Anjumon Ace can do, this card is just kind of like, oh. But looking at the deck elsewhere, I mean, this is about the Bloom that we know. They have their searchers that searches out top 4 for vegetation and plant and a fairy. You get the starter deck Palmon You get the BT14 Palmon that has the start of your main phase effect. And then that combo with Palmon X means you're going to gain memory. It's basically the same as doing like an Uko play without doing the Uko play, as long as your opponent has a Digimon to play. It is a really, really good effect there. So congratulations on 16th place. I do have to say, I am absolutely pooped. I wanted to get this video out for y'all in the morning on Monday, but unfortunately I am so tired. I'm not going to be able to edit this video. So I don't know when you guys are going to be seeing this, probably Tuesday. or maybe later Monday. I'm not sure at this point. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, but like I am like tired. So I'm gonna get to sleep. We got a lot more videos to record because we got the content coming for y'all. But we appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the deck list. I'm very excited for Leomon. I can't wait to build that. I'm very happy to see Rosemon top. So let me know, what are you guys looking forward to? You guys taking any ideas here? What are you going to be building for your next decks? And drop a like, because I know you guys liked the video if you watched it this far, you know what I mean? And then also subscribe, because if you made it this far, you probably enjoy this content, and you should subscribe so that you can see future videos come out. But anyways, until we talk to you guys the next time, thank you for watching. Peace out.